All righty, greetings class. Chef Eric, students, Happy New Year, happy 2022. Here we are. Do the wave, yes.
Gotta do
See you.
the.
Oh, okay, I'm in. CU222, Farm to Table. This is what it's all about. Your last cooking class within culinary school prior to externship. So what are we expecting from you? Top level stuff. All right, that's what we want to see. We want to see you pushing it, taking it to the maximum, pushing yourself. We are here to help you and push you along the way, guide you. We're here as a resource. Please do not forget that Chef Eric and myself, we are your resources right now, okay? Reach out, ask questions. That's what we're here for. That's what we want you to do. Let's get this started with a few general class rules, which is numero uno, respect first and foremost for everybody here, your classmates, your chefs, your fellow teammates in the kitchen, right? Thinking about this, as Chef Eric was mentioning, there are no stupid questions whatsoever. If you're thinking about it, chances are somebody else is thinking about it as well. We want this to be an open platform. Remember, we're all coming from different backgrounds. Some of us might say, hey, I don't know what organic means. What does farm to table mean? Hey, that's okay. Have no shame if you don't know this, right? What is the difference between conventional versus organic farming? Maybe you don't know. That's okay. All right. We don't expect you to know. If we expected you to know, you wouldn't be in school, right? That's what we're here for. School is to learn. So please feel free to ask questions. If you don't feel comfortable speaking up, you can always put something in the chat or message Chef Eric or myself outside of class. So respect for everybody. Keep yourself muted, especially during dialogue, because otherwise there's a lot of feedback. It can kind of get difficult. Always raise your hand. If you don't know how the button works, please reach out to one of us so that way we can get your questions answered. And another very important thing for general class rules, keep it professional, all right? Keep the topics related to this. No side conversations, please. We want you to be friends with your classmates, but do that outside of class time. And there was something that was super important that it just slipped my mind. I know it'll come back to me. But please do know that if you can't make it on time, that's okay. Catch the archive that'll be posted after class and review the archive. And if you still have questions afterwards, hit us up. That's what we're here for. We've got study hall at 3 p.m. Central Time on Fridays, where we will continue the lesson. We'll also have some extra time for questions. We will try our best to get everything knocked out in during the weekly live session, which is right here and now at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. But if we miss something or want to dive deeper, we'll be, bringing that into the study hall. Chef, any other general classroom rules that you would like to throw out there?
Nope, I'm good. Main thing, like I said, be respectful. And just raise your hand, which first question of the day already raised their hand. So knock that one out.
Awesome. I love it. All right. So let's, moving forward, catch up into a few other things that we just want to make sure that we're on top of. As you all know, assignments are due on Tuesday at 11:59. Knock out that knowledge check, that knowledge and conversions check every week. That's 20% of your grade. All right. If you have any questions. Chef. Hello, welcome. If you have any questions regarding the syllabus, I'm just going to pull up the class page right now so that we're all on the same page, literally, and so that we know where everything is. All right. Syllabus is right here. All right. Along with your textbook. These are just really important things that we want to make sure that we're tapping into. That if you don't know, you have resources. Okay. Pull up that syllabus right here. There are some changes to the class, the school website, the Moodle platform. So, just get familiar with it. If you've got any questions regarding that, just reach out. But here you see we've got all of our objectives. And then again, here's what we do. 20% are your knowledge checks. So if you don't take your knowledge checks and conversions checks, you're missing on 20% of the grade. So even if you ace every single assignment, you're still only going to get a B. All right. That grade can go to bring you from a D to a C to a B, an F to a D, right? A B to an A. These are huge points. All right, that's your breakdown, just like every other class. And these will be, your lectures, your labs. Want to make sure that we're hitting everything. You want to make sure that you're hitting your live session, because we're going to give you tips and tricks and inside information on how to execute recipes. All right. On that note regarding recipes, make sure that we're adhering to those. All right. To the T, literally to the tablespoon and the teaspoon. That's how you execute. If you need substitutions or for any reason, whether it is dietary, medical, religious, or allergy wise, reach out to us. We're here for you. Chef Eric and I have got a ton of ideas for substitutions that we can help you still execute the technique. There is the option for making a half recipe if needed at whenever. Note that in your narrative though. If you're making a half recipe, note that right up top, because we're going to see a difference in quantity, right, in your mise en place. All right, so just note that at the top, notes for instructor. Maybe you've got a difficult situation going on with your family, work life, right? We all get that. We all have families, friends, life. Many of you might have jobs, you're going to school, which hats off if you're going to school and working and have a family and have a life, especially during these times. It is not easy. So be proud of yourselves for getting here. Okay, first and foremost, it is not easy to manage. All right, so be proud of yourself. You can put notes in there for us. You can write us messages. If you've got something going on, you have to let us know that something is going on. Otherwise, if you don't tell us, we can't help you. All right. If you're walking behind, this is always my example. If I'm walking behind Chef Eric in the kitchen and I've got a knife in my hand and I don't tell him knife behind, Chef Eric might turn around and next thing you know, we've got blood, right? Maybe maybe Chef Eric's walking with a hot pot and he's turning around a corner. He's going to say corner, hot behind. And I'm going to know, hey, Chef Eric behind me has got something hot. If he doesn't tell me, I have no idea what's going on. This is the same thing. If you've got life issues or anything that's going on that's holding you back from executing, you have to reach out so we can make a plan. If we don't make a plan, what happens?
You don't have a babysitter. All right. And the kids like to be in your lap and you like to be on screen. Bring the kids as long as they're quiet. We don't care. I've waved at so many children in our last couple of classes. It's not even for, I will wave. I will give them a wave. I will even shout them out if you tell me their name. So we want you to be here. We want you to learn. We want you to be comfortable. Like Chef Catherine said, we know life happens. You know the other saying, what happens, but we know life happens. Things happen. People get sick. People, car accidents, paycheck problems, idiot problems, people just not acting right. Can't find an ingredient. We know this. Things happen. It's going to happen throughout your career. Let us know. That's all you got to do. Like the question earlier was, allergic to sesame seeds. So we're going to talk about substitutions because there might, for whatever religious reasons, personal reasons, my throat's going to close up and I don't want to have to jam myself with my EpiPen reasons. I mean, there are different reasons for things. And that's also a good thing, kind of a good segue, because as a chef, these are going to be the things that are going to be thrown in your face. Oh, hey, chef, table number 2 has gluten-free allergy and has a, nut allergy and this, and you're like, oh, shoot. Well, they want to know, what do you recommend? And these are the things you're going to have to know. These are the things you're going to have to be thinking about pretty much when you're planning out your menu. So give that some thought.
100%. All right. One other thing that I want to show you in the top of the class page, I'm just going to pull this up. Academic integrity, super important. Click right here. Boom. Another link pops up. We've got this. If you need a review, please do check it out, right? Because this is where we're talking about integrity. All right. What does that mean? Student code of conduct, cheating, plagiarism, drug use or intoxication during class or while executing assignments, right? We don't want to see anything going on. Intimidation, harassment, inappropriate behavior. We know none of those things are going to happen, but where we will see things that do happen, right? Cheating, taking photos from the internet, right? Taking photos from somebody else's work. These are big no-nos, right? You're in culinary class, school, we want to see your work. Repeating a self-ID or sanitation photo. This is also cheating, right? You are required to take a new self-ID and sanitation photo every time you are in the kitchen executing an assignment for school. Why is that? Because even though we're not in a professional kitchen, we're preparing you for a professional kitchen. So when you step into your kitchen at your house, for those 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, it's a professional kitchen. You need to have your sanitation solution. If not a sanitation solution, you do need to have your wipes. You need to be in professional attire. Throw that apron on. Keep your hair up. Put a hat on, okay? If you don't have your hat for some reason, bandana works. Baseball cap works, okay? Those work. We need your hair tied back. Yes, would we prefer a chef hat? Of course. However, I guess things get lost. People steal things, you know, get like socks loose in the washer dryer. So can hats, okay? Earrings.
That
No
dryer
earrings
monster.
What, chef? Oh, the dryer
That
monster.
dryer monster. Oh, eats up socks.
It will. They get
Or
hungry.
maybe if you're like me, my head's too big, so I have to wear a bandana.
That works. That works. We just need to make sure that you are ready for a professional kitchen. Earrings, they don't belong in the kitchen. Why? That stud could easily fall back and land in a bowl of salad that you're prepping. Next thing you know, you've got a chipped tooth, right? Nails, fingernail polish, none of that. Nails need to be clean and short, all right? We don't want to see dirty fingers. If you've got nails and choose to wear nails, that's fine. However, you need to make sure that you have gloves on the entire time. Okay, nail polish is a toxic hazard, right? We all know, if you ever worn nail polish, you know that it chips off. Those little specks can get in a plate. What do we think about when we went to, has anybody ever been into a restaurant where something that should not have been on the plate shows up on the plate?
Ooh. Next quick section, real quick. All those gentlemen out there with wonderful beards. Yes, mine, I'm quite proud of. We would have to wear beard guards. And matter of fact, I have one in my car. Well, actually, I have several in my car. Next class or study hall, I think next class, I'll bring a beard guard. You don't have to wear a beard guard at your house, but just know that certain restaurants you work at, you're going to need them. And actually, I think they're pretty cool myself. But, you know, because I see, let's see, we got Eric got a nice little beard there. John got that salt and pepper. I see John Blair. Look, John got, I see that. Who else got a beard?
Vladimir does.
Okay.
It's in the photo, unless he updated,
Yep.
but we know there's going to be.
Yep. And I'm telling you, I like mine. Once I get a compliment.
A mask does not technically count as a beard guard.
No, it doesn't, because my beard sticks out underneath my mask. But yeah, the minute I got a compliment on it, I was going to shave it, but the minute I got a compliment, keeping it. So, yep, Vladimir said he has to wear a net. There you go.
Exactly. Does anybody have any questions regarding these basics that we've just covered? We just want to set the level straight right now. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, Bryn.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering what kind of shoes are appropriate for working in a commercial kitchen.
Ooh.
In a commercial kitchen, you want to have non-stick.
Non-slip.
Yep. Thank you. Non-stick, non-slip.
No. They do have some that have, it's a waffle pattern so that you won't stick to the floor, because ooh, I'm telling you, I've worked in some kitchens that are nasty. And when I say nasty, I mean, when your feet are, if you hear that when you walk, your kitchen's nasty. Sorry.
This is true.
But yes, non-slip. I'm not telling you go out and get steel-toed. But here's the thing you got to realize. You have heavy pots. You've got, you've got hot food. You've got soups that can drip, all that stuff. So you want something that's going to protect your feet. And most kitchens I work in, I've done the cute little shoes. I've done all that. I've done the shoes for crews. Best thing for me is a steel toe shoe from Shoes for Crews, because they're designed to take all that beating. But you also don't want, like I said, you don't want your feet sweating also. So,
Find what is comfortable for you. go check them out, but definitely non-slip and closed toe. That is, some are going to require you to have tie shoes, others clogs are okay, but that's going to be your basic that you want to have.
Yeah.
Also, I would just reach out to your manager or chef if they've got any specific uniform requirements. That's always a good go-to as well. They even some establishments even offer deals that through the company, depending upon the size, that might have a discount for you to order directly.
Yeah, like Tom said, Shoes for Crews. You know, a lot of places are going through them, and they actually come to the job, fit you, and then they'll deliver the shoes to your workplace.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Very welcome.
Brianna. Burkus are good. Brianna, you got a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing, I know this is like not the last class, but I was seeing like when we do get to the internship, that would be like a way to find us a job, or like, how would that go?
Okay, so your externship.
I mean, you were
I'm
an
not sure-
externship.
I'm not sure what week it is, but there will be a week when the externship program director and a couple of their workers will come in and talk to you about your externship. Plus, they'll also contact you. I don't know, what did y'all do last term, Chef Catherine?
Yeah, career service representatives will come in and they will talk to all of you, but they will assist you with finding potential locations to do your externship. But I highly suggest right now taking it upon yourself, saying, hey, I'm looking ahead, right? Preparation is everything. That's one of the golden rules, right? Thinking ahead, writing a prep list, right? That's why you write a prep list, so that you're ready to execute. Check out in your neighborhood, your town, your city, restaurants that you might be interested in working at, and just do a Google search, or maybe it's one of your favorite. Like, what type of food do you want? Start thinking, do you want to do fine dining? Are you into casual dining? What piques your interest? What do you want to explore? See what restaurants are in your area. That way you already have a jump start on a list of restaurants that you could approach with the career services representatives to start to narrow that list down. And then they have help. They've got classes, live sessions that will work with CV, your resume, photo portfolio. These are things you want to start getting in check. But we will get you set up. We still have, there's plenty of time, but that is a great question, and we will make sure that we let you know when the career service representatives are coming in.
Okay, and then other question I had, I know what you said with the shoes, it'll be certain type of shoes you need, or you could wear like Crocs, or could you wear Crocs? That's
I would
non-slip?
not recommend wearing Crocs. Those are, they are, unless they're making non-slip Crocs.
Yeah, like those.
I don't know if Crocs are non-slip.
The ones from Shoes for Crews are. They are about the only ones that I
And
found.
those the ones
Nope,
you can
know
use
what? I take
like.
that back. I actually found some, believe it or not, at Walmart.
They
Yeah,
have
I
some.
seen
I
them.
found
That's the
mine on
one I
Amazon.
seen.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I seen them at Walmart, and I was like, they look, and I actually put my feet in. I was like, they're very comfortable for that price.
Yep. I have to take that one back because I did. I had another student in another class said, no, I found some at Walmart. And I'm like, I didn't say they didn't. I'm just skeptical when I hear that. So of course, the minute we got out of class, I ran to Wally World, and guess what? They have them. They also had, oh my God, what are the, as a matter of fact, I got them right here. Fila's.
Oh yeah, the Fila has work shoes now.
Yes, Fila
Yeah,
work
I
shoes.
seen
And
those.
I was shocked. So that's what, as I said earlier, you learn new things. I'm sitting there like, I'm standing in the middle of Walmart, like, Walmart has good work shoes? What?
I did not know Crocs had non-slip, so hey, that's news to me.
So
Use,
the only thing about the Crocs though is they don't
use the
make them
shoes.
in half sizes, so you got to be kind of careful with that because over time your feet will start sliding in them.
Ooh.
Oh,
Or get the I know Shoes for Crews has the inserts that you can use, which kind of supposedly make your foot a little bigger. So yeah.
Because I was gonna say, if I want to do something I love, I also want to be comfortable as well. So I was like, okay.
Well, you
Not
need to
like
be
wearing-
comfortable in the kitchen because
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I don't want to wear like those tennis shoes and your feet sweat, or like, tennis shoes make it feel like your feet just suffocating. That's why I was like,
walking around with the and tennis shoes are not good, especially if you drop, or not even you. If somebody else drops a hot pot of soup, don't forget about tennis shoes. Yeah, 3rd-degree burns on your feet are no fun. Even if it's just a little patch, it's awful.
Yeah, it is awful. I think that'll, that's like I heard.
And yes, Walmart is non-slip and oil resistant. Yes, thank you, Rudolph.
Thank y'all so much.
No problem.
Because those questions was bothering me, and I was like, okay, I'll ask away.
That's why I say there's no stupid questions. That was actually a good one. Tom, what's going on?
How are y'all?
Doing good.
I have a question on externships, but
Okay.
shoes. I honestly live in my Shoes for Cruise clogs. They are so comfortable, and they slip right on and off.
They are. I
wear them.
I have to admit they are comfortable.
And they have a lot of different styles. You don't have to get the clogs, but you just have to look for slip resistant. That's what they're looking for.
Oh, the one thing you don't want is the open back, though. And they do have Shoes for Cruise has the open back. That's more for your bakers.
Yeah. No, I use the full cover.
Yep.
I've used Fila for over 6 years, and they're like $45. They last for a year, and they're amazing. They are lace up, but they are skid resistant, and they're perfect for like stadiums and stuff. So because you do a lot of walking. But
I actually wear them as tennis shoes too.
Yeah, the clogs, you can probably work out on them too. I called student services recently because I was confused because I wanted to do my externship earlier, but I never got a call back. But she gave me some dates when I was talking to the general switchboard person, and I thought we were graduating the beginning of June, but she says we're going to like June 28th. But Chef Catherine said this is our last cooking class, and this is for what? 6 weeks or 10 weeks?
12 weeks. This one is a 3-month class.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you've got another class after that, and then externship. But everybody's going to have depending upon if you have any credits that have transferred from other schools or anything, you might have a different graduation date. But we can put in a note to your student success coach and or career services to see if there's any. Some people are eligible for completing externship early, some are not. It's kind of on a case-by-case basis. So we can put a note in to get you a call back and
I haven't, and it's just, the beginning of the year, and I was calling on like New Year's Eve. But no, so you're saying there is another class after this one?
Yes. It's just not a cooking class.
Okay, well that would make sense then.
So we're the last fun class. No, I'm joking.
Exactly. No, he's not.
We're the last edible. There we go. The last class you're going to be eating in, which is what makes this the fun class.
Well, I see it being fun. Thank you.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. Wait till you make butter. Okay, I'm not going to say anything else, but wait till you make butter for the first time. Everybody's going to be like, holy crap. I'm telling you, it happened it's happened the last couple of blocks.
Hey, Chef.
I don't have to buy this anymore. No, you don't.
But we're going to take these last 2 classes. Okay, 3, you just slipped in there, but then we have to wrap this up because it's almost at a halfway point and we need to get covering some material. So let's hop in these, make these rocking and rolling. Michael, you're up. Or Mikhail. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing your name.
Close enough. It's Mikhail.
Hi, Mikhail.
I think you just kind of answered it. It's another class after this one, so that means the internship won't be during this class, correct?
No.
Correct.
Okay.
Externship is its own class itself because you're going to be working. You're going to be in the industry. There's many different opportunities. Last class We had 8 people that went to Disney. That's actually where I did my externship. So it's, not a bad place to be, but it depends on what you're looking to do. Like Chef Catherine said earlier, if you're looking to do fine dining, casual dining, once you get that in your mind, what you want to do, then that will guide you a little bit better, if that makes sense. It'll guide you a little bit better on where you should go for your externship. If you want to do catering, there's actually places for that. Abigail Kirsch was a great place to do catering because that's all they do. They cater big functions. So somebody else had mentioned that, they were doing or they wanted to do catering. So these are just things to keep in your mind. There's, let's see, there's medical. I know a lot of people, might cringe at this, but there's medical, working hospital food service, nursing home food service. There's so many different places that people don't know, they're looking for chefs. They're looking for, up and coming fresh people in the industry. Sports stadiums. Yes, Tom, thank you. I have a friend right now that he just switched what he was doing. He was doing fine dining. Now he's doing, he's working with the, what's the Charlotte basketball team?
Hornets?
And it was,
I think I just dated myself, but they used to be the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, well, thought they were the Bobcats for a minute, but I think they moved from Charlotte. They didn't move like 6. It is the Hornets. See, you're good. Because they were the Bobcats, but so there's a lot of different fields out there. So, and this is what Jacksonville, there you go. And that's what Chef Catherine and I are here to talk to you about, or to, in these little explanations or, side talks. All right. LaShondra, you had a question?
Hi, good night. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I know they've answered this a million times, and I'm sorry I couldn't remember the answer. But like with the credits that we're getting, are they changeable to other schools?
The class credits that you take?
Yeah.
It depends. Every school is different. If there's crossover, it depends upon the learning objectives from each school that's set forth, and if it taps into the same accreditation that the other schools may or may not have. So that's something that you would want to look into to see if it does transfer over. But you're very close to the end. So, if you're thinking about switching right now, reach out to Chef Erica or I so we can talk to you, and then we can guide you to your student service, your success coach if need be. But it really depends. It's again on the school that you would be looking to transfer to potentially.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Just remember, a lot of transfer programs, they still want you to take some classes. So just putting that out there. So even though you might have a credit for something, they might make you take another credit for something else.
Thank you. I get it. Thank you.
So. All right, LaSalle. What you got?
I was just gonna throw this out here. When you said making butter, believe it or not, I referred to it as from farm to table. I did it by hand churn.
Yes.
I did it by hand churn.
The real way to do it.
You could die.
Yes. Awesome. Well, we're going to show you a quicker way in week 11. It's a little bit faster than hand churn, but it's not as fast as going to the store.
Yeah.
But you can always hand whip, which is in case you don't have that food processor, which it does happen. So we've got, yes, exactly. We've got options.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, I love that everybody's already getting excited. Some people talking about shaking it in a bottle, of course, mason jar, making butter. We've got hand churn. We are going to be talking about so many fantastic concepts regarding farm to table. Okay. Obviously farm to table or farm to fork, which has been trending for the past, 15, well, now let's call it 20 years. But 15 years super solidly. There's been a huge impact in the industry, right? Going from what it was really popular in the 80s and 90s, where things started shifting, right? Even in the 70s with Chez Panisse out in Berkeley, California, where they kind of said, hey, let's start looking, what about seasonality, right? There's going to be every single week, we're going to touch on different topics that relate back to the idea and concept of what farm to table really means and how it has changed the scene of the restaurant industry for the better in a lot of ways. And then sometimes we could say for the worse, okay? There have been some things that have come up from farm to table where restaurants have taken advantage of that beautiful term farm to table. And we know that customers are excited about getting farm to table fresh products, but they're maybe not being so truthful in their menus, okay? And they use that way to capture customers, but we're not being honest. So we're gonna dive into all of this. We're gonna also be talking about, all right, do you know what a GMO is, right? I'm sure people have heard of that. Oh, GMO is bad. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you, guess what? GMOs are bad? Maybe GMOs are good. Guess what? Every single side is gonna have two sides to that argument, where there are pros and where there are cons to it. Same with organics, okay? We're going to look into livestock production, slaughterhouses. We're going to start thinking about those workers on the farms, right? What types of conditions do those farm workers have? What type of conditions do slaughterhouse workers have? What type of conditions do restaurant and hospitality employees currently have? What's going on right now in the industry? We've had more people quitting in the hospitality industry than ever before, demanding better pay, better wages, better working conditions, right? Everything taps into the idea and concept of farm to table, because farm to table is not just about the food getting to that table. It's about all the steps along the way, the community, the sustainability aspect, right? What are we building for future generations? How are we looking to improve the industry? How can we make it a better, not only industry, but a world, a healthier world, right? We're going to talk about trends of going vegetarian, vegan, right? How does that have an impact? What is the impact of cows and pigs and chickens have on the earth, right? How can we modify menus to appeal to a wider array of customers? How do we make our bottom line, right? Does anybody know what that means? We're talking about making money, right? This is not just about anything else. We are here to run businesses. So we also have to think about how to make money. What is profitable? What brings in more customers? Being more green? Perhaps. Being organic? Maybe, depending upon where you're located. But guess what? With organic comes a price tag. Maybe where you're located, your customers don't have the extra money to be paying for organics. Okay, how do we modify that? What can we still do to support the local industry? Maybe they're not organic, but they're local. That's going to cut down on carbon emissions, right? Carbon emissions. Do we know what that is? It's okay if you don't. We're going to talk about that. But that's how much energy it takes to get from point A to point B. If we're looking in a more basic way. Does anybody know how, on average, how far your food travels before it gets to you? Just to remember, no dumb questions, no dumb answers, replies to questions either.
Yep.
Thousands of miles. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
About 1,500 miles, 12 to 1,500 miles on average. Your food is getting, unless you live in an agricultural hub, your food is going. How do we get tomatoes? Say you live in the northern, you're living in Minnesota, let's say, in the winter. You go to the grocery store and you can see tomatoes there. How are tomatoes showing up at the grocery store? Florida, yep. Maybe even farther away. Where else?
Overseas, Brazil.
Overseas, Brazil. Awesome, Mary. Yeah. Mexico, right?
Yeah.
China. Chef, what were you saying?
I said them folks down in Texas.
Yep, Texans, right?
Yep.
Nancy said living in Florida for 20 years, they imported oranges from California. Now, why would that be? Maybe they couldn't meet the demand. Who knows, right? There's going to be all these different ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to tap into this. It is going to open your eyes. That, I think, is the coolest thing about this class. I know Chef Eric and myself are extremely passionate about food, eating, cooking, what the industry is all about. But really what it is about, like Chef Eric was saying, never stopping learning. All right.
Exactly.
Figuring out new stuff. We're gonna blow. I know my mind is usually blown every day by continuing to read. Okay. This is one of the best industries if you want to keep expanding your knowledge. Okay. Your knowledge base. Things are changing constantly. We're going to talk about preservation methods. When do we think preservation methods go back to?
Everybody should know this one.
Any ideas?
Tom says colonial. Anybody agree or disagree? Because Tom's right. Colonial is part of the period.
Egyptian. Yep. Way back. We are talking about way. Guess what? When humans started walking around.
Exactly. Food. Got to preserve your food.
Drying. Remember, when did refrigeration come around? How long ago? Not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
Early 1900s.
Yeah.
Early 1900s.
Actually, if my dates are correct, that would have been right around 1908 when they were starting to learn how to produce ice.
Well, I think rice production was going before that, but this is what we're talking about, right? Digging into cool things of research, preservation, drying techniques, jamming, fermentation. Whoa. All right. We are just trying to tickle your taste buds right now because all of these subjects that we talked about, we're going to be diving into each week. And there are some things that we have not even mentioned yet. All right. So let's get excited. I hope that all of you are. Chef, we want to hop into those recipes real quick so we make sure we knock those out.
Yep. Do you have them pulled up? Oh, wait a minute.
Before I can pull the narrative up. I'm going to put an example really quickly, but we will touch base on that quickly. I'm just going to share the screen really quickly. Class, this is also, I forgot to mention this. This is going to be one of your favorite areas on the class page. Do not miss out on this, seriously, because this is where all the goodies are going to be coming. Let me turn this editing off really quickly. So as we showed you, we've got the start here, academic integrity. Also, hey, tutoring, writing center, club hub, live session backgrounds if you want to dabble with that. The shopping list, I suggest not using that shopping list. That's just my personal word of advice. I don't use the shopping list. Make your own shopping list every week. Look at the recipes because that is going to prepare you. Because also, do you trust everybody? No, you want to make your own shopping list. Sometimes there are little mishaps, right? Use that recipe to guide yourself to make your own inventory list. Okay, that is going to get you ready for a professional kitchen, not taking somebody else's inventory list. Okay, make your own. All right.
Things you might already have in the kitchen, so you may not need everything on the shopping list.
Exactly. All right. Make your own, double check your own pantry, your own fridge, then you execute. All right. But this is the big spot here. Instructor announcements. Each and every week, Chef Eric and I are going to be pointing cool, interesting, maybe reads, articles, short videos. We've got our prep lists that are going to be going here. And for example, for this week, maybe you're getting stuck in that narrative. All right. We've got a narrative and production example. All right. We also have great words for menu descriptions. You're just going to click on that link and that is going to take you right here. So instead of just being locked into umami or sweet or bitter, we are just as you are, right, Chef? Who's tired of hearing those words?
Yes.
Guess what? We've got 73 different words here to help you work on your menu descriptions. Diversify. We don't want to just see fried chicken, right? I always say fried chicken because fried chicken is literally my favorite thing in the entire world. But what sounds better? Crispy, crunchy fried chicken or just fried chicken? I want some crunchy fried chicken. I want juicy fried chicken, right? Exactly. I do not want just fried chicken. I want
1834 Jacob Perkins built the first refrigerator.
All right. Tangy, yeasty, woody, zesty, texture, right? Is it chewy? Is it creamy? Is it crumbly? Is it crusty? Is it delicate, doughy, flaky, fluffy, right? Don't just use these basic words. Start to expand. The better your descriptions are, the more you can convey to your guests as well as your serving team, which then talk to your guests. They're the liaison between you and the guest. All right. So
Exactly.
use this. All right. If you're struggling for words. All right. Next up, we do have an example of exactly of what we're looking for on the narrative.
No,
Okay.
Vladimir, it's not weird. Vladimir said all those words are making him hungry, chef.
Oh, well, trust me, Vladimir and I go way back to CU222, and Vladimir just, we know the deal. We're gonna get hungry as we always do. But this is gonna be, we'll check into this later. I want Chef to hit up the recipes, but if you need any reference, like I said, this is where we're gonna give you the information. These are where we're giving you the tools to be the best that you can be. So if you're having an issue of saying, what do I need to do? This is where it is. You can go back and reference it. You don't have to watch the entire live session. You've got an entire example right here laid up exactly what we were expecting to get that 15 out of 15 on your narrative. Chef, it's all yours.
Amber, we will not take off points if you don't use words that are on the flavor wheel, as long as they describe the item. So yes, you don't have to worry about that here. Like that, and that's why Chef Catherine brought that up, because we want you to use different words. We want you to describe what it tastes like, because everything isn't umami. Everything isn't, spicy. Everything isn't, my goodness, I tell you, I just salty. It's when I hear these words, I just, I kind of rub my temples, because it's like, okay, so salt is salty.
If it's salty, guess what? You over salted.
Thank you.
If it's bland, Chef.
Yep.
Did you season it enough? No way.
Yeah, it didn't have any flavor to it. Well, that's because you didn't season it. So these are the words we're trying to get you away from, so that when you do describe it, you're like, okay. Now, so there's a couple of recipes where you're going to use anchovies. The anchovies were kind of fishy and salty. That's fine. That means I can probably tell you what brand of anchovies, of canned anchovies you had, because some of them are really salty, overly salty. And some of them are packed in water, which means they were rinsed and then kind of packed in a little bit of a brine. So just keep that in mind. All right. The recipes. Do you have them pulled up? If not, I do.
Rock it, Chef.
All right. So let's go to our share screen. Okay, first recipe we're going to talk about is dukkha. All right, with your dukkha. So, okay, there's something real quick we want to make sure that you know. Now, it says on here, almonds, peanuts, walnuts, hazelnuts, or any combination thereof. But after doing this class for a while, we realized putting all the nuts together is going to create some problems, because some of the nuts, as you heat them up, they have a little more oil in them than others. So you kind of want to toast everything separately. Great suggestion is, and we know sometimes funds play a part in it. So let's say you're going to do toasted nuts, which is going to be not the next, but it's going to be one of the recipes I do next. Go ahead and do your toasted almonds, okay, which you're going to use raw, but we'll get to that. And then use those in your dukkha. All right. You're going to use white and black sesame seeds. Now, who was that earlier that said they had an allergy to sesame seeds?
That was me, Chef.
Okay, that was Noah. So for Noah, you can leave them out. Okay.
Okay, is there anything that we do suggest using as a replacement for that, so I'd still get the same flavor profile?
You're just allergic to sesame seeds?
Yes, sesame seeds and sesame oil is more the issue that in a total. I end up getting like a really bad rash and have trouble breathing and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't want you doing that. You could use, it's not going to be a 1-to-1, but you could do some sunflower seeds in there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Raw, again, you want to go for raw.
You do not want you getting hives, and I I can see the rash breaking out.
Yup.
Yep. Yep. Coriander. Now here's the thing. Okay, if you can't find coriander seeds, there's ground coriander. Does it make a difference? I've gotten that question before. You want to follow the recipe as close as possible because this is actually a cooking school. So what do you want to do? You want to cook. So there's nothing wrong with the ground coriander, but when you're making this dukkha, as you're pureeing and you're grinding everything up, you kind of want to, like I said, you kind of want to see how it turns out from the seedling or from the seeds instead of just using ground for everything. All right. Same thing with the cumin. Or if you can't find it, ground cumin. Now, here's the thing. When you go to your stores, you look up on the little condiment rack, you find ground. Right next to it is probably going to be whole. Okay. Alphabetically, just depending on how the stores do it. Some stores are a little bit backwards. If you can't find something, shoot us a message. Let us know. But before you do that, please check at least 2 to 3 stores. Now, I haven't met too many people. I think I had one student in a previous class who lived in a very small town and there was like one store. So if you're in that situation, if you go to, as they said, if you go to town, which is the big town down the road, you might want to take a list of things you think you might not be able to find at the small mom and pop store. Okay. Just keep that in mind. So basically with your dukkha, you're gonna toast your nuts. You're gently you want to toss your nuts. Never walk away from anything. Any of these products that you're going to make, don't walk away, because you're not going to do that in a kitchen, because it takes literally that long to burn. You can turn around, look at something, or you can turn around, tell somebody a joke, and the minute you look, everything's burnt. So you got to start all over again. And trust me, if you start doing that with too many chefs, they're going to either start taking it out your paycheck or they're going to send you home permanently. So you toast to a fragrant. What does fragrant mean? Fragrant is, I can smell it. So once you start to smell them, and you want to be tossing them back and forth, whether you can toss the pan or whether you just stir them around with you please use a heat proof rubber spatula. Do not use one that'll melt, please. I had a cook that did that. Then as they get toasted, you want to take them, you want to remove them onto a parchment paper. And like I say, then you want to toast your sesame seeds. Then you want to toast in with the sesame seeds. You're going to add your spices. Okay, so you toast them all together. Same thing, fragrant, not burnt. You're going to remove the spices. You're going to put everything together. You're going to let them cool a little bit. Then you're going to add to if you got a spice grinder, it's the greatest thing ever. If you don't, it's not a problem. You can do a mortar and pestle. Some people have done it in food processor. I can tell you, food processor might pull some of the oils out a little more. But like I say, if you have a spice grinder, it's probably the best thing. But if you don't have one, please don't go out and buy one just for this class, unless you plan on using it again. And you're going to pulse. You run in the food processor, you're going to pulse it till it's finely chopped. Of course, it's a sand-like texture. It's going to be light. It's going to be kind of fluffy. Now, it says here you can use it as garnish for salads, soups, dips. We had some students that got really creative with their dukkha, to be honest with you. I mean, they were putting it on everything, and we were actually seeing it in future weeks. So
Beautiful crust.
on other things. Oh yeah. One used it to crust a fish dish that came up. So there's so many different things you can use it for. I know somebody has already looked at the recipe and been like, what is this? This doesn't look, trust me, it's great. And I'm telling you, that fish looked awesome. You can store in an airtight container for up to 2 weeks. Of course, as you know, anything else, if you put it in an airtight container and you throw it in the freezer, you might keep it a little longer. but it is pretty easy to make. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see if, no, I'm gonna have to stop share, of course, and go back out.
Just a word to the wise, I put this in the chat for anybody who's not in the chat. Remember, we want to see toasting. We don't want to see scorching. All right, moderate that heat. Remember, the biggest thing in cooking is you have control of the heat. You are in control, right? You see that it's getting too hot, pull that pan off. Keep those nuts and seeds and spices moving. All right. We're not searing them. All right. You don't want to char. You don't want to get dark, heavy black spots on this, right? Toasting, like Chef Eric said, want to get that fragrant. We want to release those oils, right? Getting nice and fragrant. That's how we know we're working in the right direction. And again, so important to have raw products here. All right. If you have already, you get your Planters container of mixed nuts. Those have already been toasted. The oils have already been released. You're going to end up with not an ideal finished product. It's going to release way too many oils. It's going to be greasy. All right. And that is not properly executed.
Salty.
Yes, as well as salty.
So yes, as you heard, raw. Kiwana, I hope I'm saying that right.
No, it's Kiana, but it's okay.
Okay.
All my life, it's okay.
Kiana.
So the Duca, will it become wet after it comes out of the freezer? You know how sometimes you put things into the freezer and it comes out and it thaws, it becomes wet?
That's a good question. Here's the thing. If you put it in the freezer, okay, when you take it out, what's the first thing you should do?
Thaw it.
Thaw it. What's the second thing you should do or could do?
Put in the refrigerator? No.
You're close.
I don't know.
It's near the refrigerator.
I don't know.
What was that?
Put it in the oven.
Throw it
in the oven. Okay.
Throw it in there a little bit.
To toast it. Okay.
Yep. Low temperatures. I'm going to suggest, Chef Catherine just said it, start everything off low temperatures and gradually build up, especially when toasting. Okay. But yes, if you decide to hold it that long, trust me, I don't think anybody held it that long. I think most people just made more because I'm telling you, I had students throwing Duca on everything. Hey, Chef, did you know you could put Duca on bread? I had some bread and some oil and it was crazy. It was like the 2 weeks of Duca. Any other questions? You good?
No, thank you.
Okay. Rudolph, what's going on?
Okay, so the first question is, if you don't have a spice grinder, can you use a pepper mill?
Yeah, pepper mill should work. It should work. I would do small amounts just so you don't clog it up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're putting are you talking about just for your spices?
Just for the spices, yes, just for the spice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. If you put nuts in, it's gonna add too many oils in there, and you're gonna do some things that you don't want to have that happening to your pepper grinder.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other question was on the Duca recipe. It didn't specifically say raw nuts, but are all the nuts raw? The peanuts, everything?
Yeah, every nut that you want to use, because we're gonna be toasting those, you want them from the raw stage.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't say that on the recipe, but we wanted to let y'all know that because we have seen it too many times. The oils are pulling out and people are like, well, my Duca didn't turn out as fluffy as, maybe some of the pictures that we've shown in the past. So, these are just tips and tricks that we're giving you. Anytime you're dealing with, if you're making something with nuts, you really want them to be raw. Okay, especially if you're toasting them.
All right, thank you.
No problem. LaSalle, what's going on?
Yes, Chef. When you said raw peanuts, what brand of peanuts are you talking?
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you have a Whole Foods is the best place to get them.
Okay.
If you don't have a Whole Foods, most grocery stores, and I say most, you'll see clear bags of peanuts, and those are roasted. But same thing, like in class, don't be afraid to ask.
Right.
These days, you're most likely like raw peanuts. Yeah, like you will find in a lot of ethnic stores, right? Like an Asian grocery store or a Latin grocery store. You'll find raw peanuts. Most at just a regular grocery store, most likely they're going to be already toasted. But almonds you can find pretty frequently raw, and same with walnuts. You can find those really, those are a bit, I think, the most common nuts to find raw these days in a grocery store.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Chef.
No problem. Brianna, you have a question?
Okay, hey, with the raw, that's what got me confused as well. So like with the raw peanuts, do you mean like the ones that's in the shell and like they actually come off like off the field, like that type of raw?
Those can be raw, and sometimes they are not raw. Sometimes they have been
Yeah,
toasted.
see, that's why I'm like, I want it to come out right. So I was trying to see like, because I know what the recipe, it says walnuts and all that stuff like that. I mean, I know it's walnuts, but I know they be in the bag.
Raw peanuts have a totally different color to them. They are pale, like the actual nut themselves. Well, it's not a nut, it's a legume, but it's very pale. It's closer to a creamy color as opposed to those that where it's pulling out those yellow, darker yellow notes. That's when you know it's toasted. But raw peanuts are creamy colored more than any deeper note to it.
So can you find them like at Walmart? Will they be at Walmart?
Probably. I would do also class, I would always suggest using the internet before you start heading out, driving around, wasting time. Do a look. Also, if ordering ahead of time. What's that, Chef? I
was going to say raw peanuts near me. Google.
Yeah. Google search, ordering ahead of time, looking. I highly suggest if you live in a small town or a small remote or more rural area, looking ahead of time at every single week, singing, okay, what don't I have? What do I know is going to be difficult to find?
Okay, they have them at Walmart, but they look kind of brownish looking on the picture it has.
It's saying raw?
It says raw peanuts, and they kind of look.
Well, sometimes they put on the website, they put a picture of just, of something. I know the skin on it too. Yeah.
It's one at Tractor Supply as well. And Whole School that I have near me, that's in like Savannah or Jacksonville. And that's pretty far from me.
You might want to then, if you're going to do a trip to somewhere where you can get some supplies, look ahead for every other week and see if there's any other unique ingredients that you need to get, and make one trip and load up on those as opposed to making multiple trips.
Yeah.
Okay. So
work smarter, not harder.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. Kiana, you have another question?
Yes, I have a question, and I probably already just answered this a million times, but I was just asking one of the other chefs. So these are the almonds that I'm going to show you, and I'll just like to know, just to show you, are these almonds okay?
You would need to open one up so we can see the inside of the almond, because without seeing the inside, most likely it's sometimes the best indicator of seeing whether an almond has been toasted or not.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me know if the lighting is good. No?
Doesn't look like it's been toasted.
It's a little hard to tell.
Yeah.
I don't know which way y'all should go.
It's honestly, this is what I would suggest.
Because these are
unsalted. Wait, 1 second, please, 1 second, hold up. Class, best way to also taste things, check things, taste it, right? They're gonna have a completely different texture if it's been toasted. A raw nut is going to be a little bit chewier. A toasted nut has the moisture been removed. It's going to be crisper, right? A raw nut is going to be chewier.
Toasted nut is going to be like crisper. It's going to have a crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think these are raw. They're unsalted. But, and also these I can't use, right? Because these, I know you're gonna say the same thing probably, but these, see how they have that dust? These are roasted, right?
Honestly, it is really difficult to
Walnuts.
see. The bag it looks like it's a colored bag. And
It's clear,
the
but
lighting is,
I'm sorry.
Raw nuts taste nasty too.
Right. Okay, that's true.
And those
They have
taste
a-
good.
let's think about how we utilize our words, right, though? Nasty is not how we want to describe something. Maybe it tastes green, maybe it tastes, there's a different word, right? But we want to start thinking about how to articulate instead of saying, oh, that tastes gross, or that tastes
Disgusting.
nasty. What does it actually taste like?
Walnuts have an oily taste to them.
See, now we're getting into oily, right? Yeah, walnuts have a lot higher fat content than
Yeah.
most other nuts. That's why there's that that oily, greasy enough to it, right? See, now we're getting up some other words. Fresh,
You've
bigger,
had 3 of
right?
them. I mean,
Chef Catherine, I just realized exactly what, like, I just went, because you had already just like mentioned it, like the way you said it, I just tasted the difference between these mixed nuts with the almonds in it and then the regular ones. These are raw, these are not. I
Okay.
taste the crunch that you're talking about.
This is what it is, comparison.
Never paid attention to the difference. Now
Yeah.
I did.
Awesome.
because
Thank you.
you'll find some almonds without the skin and they'll look raw, but they're roasted.
Or blanched, right?
Oh gosh. Yeah. Or blanched. That's a whole nother,
Yeah,
whole
exactly.
nother nut.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So pretty much everybody saw. Our next thing is pan toasted almonds. Raw almonds, add them to the pan, cold saute pan. Please do not. I had a student, and then, yeah, I've had a couple of cooks who have done this. Do not add olive oil. No oil to the pan. It's a cold pan. Keyword cold. So you're going to put those in, and then you're going to turn the heat up. So medium, high. Keep an eye, as I said, on the pan, on your nuts. Make sure that they're not burning. Gently tossed to prevent scorching. Toast until you will smell them. And I'm telling you what, it is one of the best smells on the face of the earth. There are going to be people in the house like, what are you cooking? You're not. You're just toasting almonds. Remove the almonds. And the thing about it is, before you even put them in the pan, you want to have your parchment paper and your baking, your parchment lined baking pan already ready. Because once you smell them, that's when we start getting to the point where we're about to cross over into, oh shoot. Or the
Carry
other
over
word that some people-
cooking.
I'm saying, yeah. So the first thing you want to do once you smell them, don't worry about turning off the stove or turning the stove down. Take them off, put them on your parchment, then turn the stove off. Okay. A lot of times we do things like, oh, it's burning. Well, why are you just standing there looking at the pot? Take it off the stove, then turn the stove down. Okay. And then you're going to have those. You're going to take your photo, store in an airtight container for 1 month, but you're not going to store. What you're going to do is do the smart thing. You're going to do your pan toasted almonds first. You're going to take your picture, say, make sure I got a good picture for Chef Eric, Chef Catherine, and then you're going to use those in your dukkha. Smartest way to do it. Your dukkha actually should be the last thing you make, but it was one of the things I wanted to make sure we did first. So, okay, so let me stop share, go back.
Most cost-effective way as well, right?
Definitely.
So if you're looking
And
to save
then-
bucks, nuts are not cheap. Nuts are expensive.
Yes, they are. And then we're going to go to my favorite. And I'm telling you what, the first time I learned how to make this, I haven't bought any since. And this is
Yeah.
including cereal. Yes.
Exactly. I was just going to say, class, how much do you pay or how much have you seen bags of granola being sold for? A little bag, a little pouch. What's the price on that?
$3 and I can tell you right now, $3
5,
and
9, 15.
No, I'm talking about small.
Yes.
Yeah. $3.99. And it was on sale, happened to be on sale. Like craziness.
Super expensive. Now,
Way too expensive. And I will tell you, I'm not gonna put any money on it. I'm not gonna bet, but I guarantee when you make this, you'll never buy granola again. For those of you who buy granola. All right, so it's simple. Rolled oats. Now, I had a couple of questions about this. Can I use oatmeal that I have my cereal in the morning? No, because it's packaged for what? For your cereal. You want to get the little Quaker jar or container of rolled oats. Okay? Brown sugar, ground cinnamon, golden raisins. The raisins are optional. I myself personally don't use the golden. I use the regular raisins.
Cost effectiveness again.
Just my preference and cost effectiveness. Almonds, slivered or chopped. Here's the thing, depending on how many almonds you have, if you have a big bag of almonds and you toast some and you still have some left over, chop some up. Just chop them up, okay? Butter, honey, preheat your oven to 325. Do know, and I've stated this on several occasions in other classes, your oven may cook hot. If you don't have an oven thermometer, you can invest in one or you don't have to. There's a simpler way. Instead of going out buying an oven thermometer. In a bowl, you're going to combine everything. You're going to toss the mix, saucepan, low heat. You're going to have the butter, the honey. You're going to stir all that to blend. Then you're going to pour it over the oat mixture. Now, don't just pour it in the center. Kind of pour it around as you're stirring. Spread the granola out on the baking sheet. Bake until golden and crunchy. 25 to 30 minutes. Here's the thing. If you throw it in the oven, then you go back to jumping on the Xbox, playing your video games, your granola, as sure as we're sitting here, is going to burn. Okay? Cooking times on any recipe, not just the school recipes. This is any recipe that you use, whether it's out of Good Housekeeping magazine, recipe.com, that wonderful, beautiful cookbook that somebody bought you for Christmas. Those are a guide, okay? Cooking times are a guide. Throw it in, 325. You should be checking your granola at about the 10-minute mark. Why is that, Chef Catherine?
A few reasons. One, you want to take that out. You want to give it a stir, because guess what else is going to happen? Around the edges, you're going to end up with this nice, beautiful, or perhaps over baked portion of your granola, with the center being nice and pale and not crisp. Additionally, giving it that stir, you're going to get beautiful clusters. All right. If you let that stay all together, you're going to get a big old brick. All right. And we're not here to make bricks of oatmeal. We are here to make beautiful clustered honey granola oats. All right.
So about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Chef. Also, your oven Chef Eric and I were talking about this before. Classic situation, whether you're in the industry or at home, ovens tend to run high or can potentially run low. They can have hot spots in the back right corner or the back left corner. Get yourself an oven thermometer. All right, that's going to help you, know if you're when you set your oven to 325. Is it hitting 325, or is it riding high and hitting 375, or is it riding low at 300?
Yep. Best investment I ever made. I did it for my cakes because my cakes weren't coming out right.
And cakes are sensitive.
The temperature, yes, and temperatures have to be right. So 10 minutes, check, stir. In 5-minute increments is my suggestion. 5-minute increments. Just, if you have a light on your stove, you can peek through the little. Keep an eye. Open the oven. This is not one of those things that if you keep opening the oven, it's going to fall. It's never going to fall. It's always going to be granola. See, pull the tray out. See, okay, it's getting a little toasted, like Chef said, on the left side. Let me go ahead and stir that, move that towards the center. Move some of this pale stuff on the outside. Put back in the oven. We had, I think last class, anywhere between 20 to about 35 minutes. Because we did have one student that oven was running cold. Had it at 325, but it wasn't cooking. It was cooking like 275. So just make sure you keep an eye on that. Once you take it out, okay, let it cool to room temperature. Of course, a couple of people are going to go, because that's just what we do. It's, oh man, it smells so good when you pull it out. Somebody's going to try to pull a little hot piece off, and you're going to do the, you can do that. Let it cool to room temperature and then try it. If it's not the greatest granola you've ever had, please let me know. But I guarantee I don't think I'll hear from many of you. I can almost guarantee you that. All right. So those are your 3 products. Any questions on those products?
Chef, I want to just hop in here real quickly and just give a visual for anybody that is curious about the difference between rolled oats versus quick cooking oats versus steel cut. Essentially what happens is we're talking about processing, all right? These oats go from a hardy grain to then being steamed and pressed and flattened. And that would be a rolled or an old fashioned oat. The next one has been like blasted, basically quick cooking oats. These are super teeny, and you're going to get a completely different finished product from with your granola if you use quick cooking oats. First of all, it's going to absorb that honey and butter way quicker. Why? Because they're quick cooking. So they're just ready to soak up that moisture. All right. Rolled oats. Here's a challenge also. Next time you get yourself, you've got some quick cooking oats and rolled oats, look at the difference. I'm going to show you the visual right now so you can see what it looks like, but you're going to see right away, huge size in the difference in size. All right. Rolled oats.
Oh yeah.
Flat, beautiful. They're chewy. They're going to have more of a bite to them. They're going to have more depth to the actual finished product. Quick cooking oats are like this. They have been steamed and squashed and steamed again. They've just been cooked a lot longer. All right. Just like if you've ever seen parboiled rice, the reason why that cooks quicker is it's been cooked before. So have these. All right. Your steel cut, right? This is, if you can imagine what the whole grain looks like, it's almost like a grain of rice, but it kind of looks like barley. If you've ever seen whole barley, it's a full solid grain. It takes a long time to cook if you've got whole steel oats versus steel cut oats. Again, it's just part of the processing stages. So this is what we're looking for. Again, you're going to get the best tasting and best looking honey granola when utilizing this. Obviously, if you cannot find anything, go for the quick cooking, but it's going to have a completely different texture. You want that bite and that chew and that depth coming from rolled oats. You're going to have more flavor as well. It's just a far better product.
Yep. Okay, so I got a couple of awesome questions on the chat. All right. So Michael asked, for the Duca, can we use a blender to pulse the spices? Yes, but just know on a blender, sometimes you may have to shake the blender because sometimes stuff gets trapped underneath the blades and it can't, it can't get whipped up in the flow. Even better question, and I saved this one for last. Cecilia asked, can we add chocolate drizzle or coconut? Let me tell you something. Okay, let me just expound real quick. Take the picture of the regular if you're going to do chocolate drizzle. The coconut, yes, you can add with the granola and all that other stuff. But for the chocolate drizzle, take the regular picture first, drizzle, then take another picture. I want to see both pictures. Because here's the thing, and this is the thing that I also want to really express to you. Everything that you make, you should be tasting. Even the stuff you like, there's going to be a week. I don't like chicken livers. Most of y'all probably have never even eaten chicken livers, but some people are going to say it anyway. But I'm not a fan of liver. As a chef, you have to taste everything because you have to know once you make it, and it's going to be pate, you're going to be like, and if it's just a little bit, like, okay, I don't like the texture of that, but now I know what it tastes like. So if you ever have to make it at work, oh crap, I got to make this. Yeah, okay. So you use their recipe and then you're like, okay, yeah, it still tastes crappy, or it tastes as bad as it did when I made it in class, but I know that I made it right because it tastes the same. Already. I don't like chicken liver. Trust me. I had some converters. I converted a lot of people on the chicken liver pate. I'm just saying.
Agreed.
Somebody asked, do we have a picture of the finished product?
I'm looking to see if I've got a good example here. We will put one up on the class page.
I am
If
pretty
I can't
sure I
find
do.
one. I'm just trying to find one from a previous student.
Yep.
But
I can guarantee you, I
You
will
got a good one,
convert
Chef?
some folks. I will convert some folks. I know I will because,
Our mystery box. Liver.
huh?
Liver should be a mystery box.
No, actually it shouldn't be in there because then I won't get any good, I won't get any good submissions.
Norman, I see your hand up. I'm gonna grab you while Chef is looking up a visual.
I know I have. Wait a minute. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. There we go. Because I know I saved. I saved some good ones. All right. I'm going to share the screen real quick. Norman, you have a question.
I do.
All right. What's your question?
So do we need like 3 cups of almonds? Because it's like 2 and 1/3. So do we need like 3 cups? Or do we just need 2 cups? Because we're toasting like 2 cups for that one and then putting the rest for the other assignment. I can't think of the name, what it was called.
The Duca.
Yeah, that.
Well, no matter what, you toast your almonds do the toasted almonds first. So however much you make, I had a student last class like, Chef, can I cut the recipes in half? Because everything I've ever made is always too much. I don't eat a whole lot. I live by myself, all that. Make sure, because some of these recipes are going to have really small, minute amounts of seasonings. So make sure you're converting your recipes properly, no matter how much you make. But if you make the almonds first, then you use the almonds in your Duca. Okay? And trust me, toasted almonds, great snack. It's a snack that you can use without actually, for those who are watching their calories, watching their waist, all that great stuff. Right now, I'm showing a good picture of granola. As you can see, some of the outside edges, a little darker than the inside is actually well toasted. But like Chef Catherine was saying, these little outside edges, and I believe, no, it's not this one. I know I had another student who added dried cranberries. If you add dried fruit, you really have to be careful because that dried fruit will burn quickly. It'll burn a lot quicker. So you want to make sure that you keep stirring. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
I see Tom popped up.
Yeah, I have 2 now. If you're adding dried fruit, would you just add it straight to the toasted mixture?
Okay, I think what I told students, so you're gonna have your dried ingredients, then you're gonna have your honey and your butter.
Mm-hmm.
After you mix up the dry ingredients, go ahead and throw cranberries in real quick, then or you can even add it to your liquid. Because the only thing is, if they're really sticky, like some dried cranberries can be, like the craisins, it might bind up before you add the honey and butter.
Or can you just add it to the end?
Yeah, you can do that too.
That's what I would do. That's why
You're still gonna want, you're gonna want them it fusing somewhat though. Like if anything, do it at that halfway point when you're taking it out. But you're gonna get good results as long as you're monitoring your granola.
Well, you'll still get flavor from just mixing it because it's associated. But good question. But
like the chocolate, I would not add and then cook. Because trust me, somebody did that. Chocolate burns.
Gonna melt and
quickly.
burn.
Yes.
That's food cost too, so. you have to
I
think-
do have another photo of a visual here. Right here, some beautifully toasted
Oh,
granola,
yeah.
as you can see, nice and even,
And that's got
toasting, color development. We don't have anything burned. This
Yep.
is what we want to be looking for.
So they're toasting this in a pan, or are they using a saute pan
for what?
for that last picture? I mean, it
Oh,
was
no, the granola is going in the oven.
On a baking tray.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, chef. Recommended if you got parchment paper. If you don't have a non-stick pan, like if you got just a regular sheet pan, parchment paper, put it down, a lot easier to get off.
Yeah, I always, even with bacon, I use parchment paper.
Okay.
It's amazingly.
Yep.
So I have a general question. People
There's no
are,
generals here.
well, there were
I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
there were questions about pictures. Do we get the videos like the previous semesters of the Escoffier chefs cooking for this class?
Yes, there are videos for all of them.
Okay, because I haven't looked yet, but there were, that's where I tend to get my picture feast is those videos are amazing, and I saved them. So you're saying yes, there are videos for all these dishes.
Oh yeah, for everything. It's in the, what is that? Resources. Yes.
Yeah. They're amazing. I love them.
Michael, no, I wouldn't use wax paper. I would use parchment. Wax
paper
will
is-
melt.
Yep, that has a material that literally has wax on it.
Yep.
We don't want that getting in. We're going to take 2 more questions. Otherwise, we're going to hold off the rest of this because we are already hitting quite into the late period. We want to respect everybody's time, and we want to make sure that we're going into the study hall for other questions. So Suzanne.
Am I using my hand to kill it?
Suzanne, we gotta mute you because you're not in a good reception area.
Yeah, your feedback is a
So
little.
we've gotta either throw that in the chat or send a direct message to either Chef Eric or myself, or change your location because
You were getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
right.
So we'll hop on to John real quick.
Feedback.
John, we're doubling down on you too.
For your narrative, is that gonna be
John, we also can't hear you either. We've got both Suzanne and John, we've got some internet issues, unless Chef Eric, it's just on my end, but
Nope.
I'm not.
We're getting some feedback from John too.
Yeah, sometimes it's just an internet.
still hitting my butt? I'm sorry.
It's an internet issue that where
Yeah.
it's an internet speed thing where it's just really slow, so it's hard. So if you can write a message to us or in the chat, that's where we're going to want to do it so we can get you those answers.
Suzanne said, "Can I use an iron skillet?" That was her question.
For toasting your nuts?
Yeah, you can use. If you
Cast
got cast
iron?
iron, you can use that for the granola too. But I'd be a little careful. Like I said,
On your
that's one of those
heat.
ones you really need to make sure you check because remember it retains that heat, so it will cook. It will cook fast.
Indeed.
Yes, cast iron is the bomb. Did you want to type your question, John?
I think he is.
Okay, cool. All right.
And then class, we will be coming back to you on on Friday at 3 p.m. Remember the study hall, we'll be diving into some other topics, asking questions again. So if you can join us, please do. I most likely will not be there, but Chef Eric will be holding down the fort.
Yep.
I have to have some things that I have to attend to.
And
But
one quick thing,
yes.
as you're going to have questions throughout the week while you're doing your assignments. And this is just not for this week. It's going to be every week. If you have a question that comes up, just write it down and leave it by your computer. Say, okay, I need to make sure I ask Chef and them this question. So that way you have your questions. So when we have the study hall, boop, we can just go ahead and get to that. Is the list of the words for the narrative. Oh, where you can print it off. What was that website? Chef, let me see.
Chef, I'll send it to you. It's Websterant, but it's going to be on the class page. You should be able to print that off. Otherwise, if not, you should just, what I would always do is just copy and paste all those words into a Google document.
You already sent it to me earlier. Yes. So
yeah.
I'm putting the link real quick. Copy it, everyone.
We'll also be posting it on our class page, but you can copy and paste that information into a Google Doc. It's super helpful. I love it. I think it's a great resource. It also gives you a definition of what those words actually mean.
Yep. Actually, Vladimir, we don't have a class forum for this class.
There's the walk-in, but that's really that's like a place to chill, hang out. Yeah, talk with your classmates, post photos. Questions go directly to Chef Eric or myself. Whether you're in my class or Chef Eric's class, vice versa, we can help you. If it's something about extensions on assignments, you want to go to us specifically, but we're both here. We're going to relay the message, whatever it is, to one another if there's things coming in. But that's what we want to go into. All right.
All right.
All righty, class. So again, we are here. Please do send us messages, and we will catch you all on the flip side. Great to have you here. It's going to be a fun adventure for these next 3 months. You should see either Chef Eric's face or my face on your class page, or you will see Jenkins or Stanton hiding in that class title. That's how you're going to know. All righty. So thank you, Chef Eric. Thank you, class. Any final words, Chef?
Keep focused. Let's get some stuff done. With most of the assignments, my biggest suggestion is always make it for your family for the weekend, or make it for them to enjoy on the weekend. All right. Your granola, and the other thing is, when the granola comes out of the oven, take a picture of it, because family members will snack on it. I'm just letting you know, it happened. It happened to several students, and they're like, they sent me a picture of about this much after they made a pan of this much. As soon as it comes out the oven, just snap a quick picture, because people are going to start snacking, especially if you put chocolate on it. Cecilia. All right. Is Friday written in stone for study hall? Yes.
3 p.m. It'll be added to my class. If you're in my class, it wasn't on the class page. It might have already been on Chef Eric's class page, but 3 p.m. Friday.
Yep.
And
Tom
again, you can always catch the archive.
Warrior.
What's that, Chef?
Tom said he's a weekend warrior. So
awesome.
That is great. Here's the thing. If you can't make study hall, you have questions, like Chef said, send us the questions. That's not a problem. We will answer them. If you can make it, fine. If not, we will always post the archive. Okay, so you can go back, watch the archive, see what, terrible jokes I might have told, or, get all the good information that we're going to give you. Okay?
Excellent. All righty, class.
All
we
right.
will see you soon. Thank you both.
All right. Thanks, Chef.
And talk to you soon. Take
Not
care.
a problem. Y'all take care.
All right.
Good night.